Today on the show, we're going to look at the Teen Titans. If you didn't know that over the years, the team has had over 60 members in total, then this show is for you. The Teen Titans. They would first appear in Brave and the Bold number 54, and they were originally intended to be a Junior Justice League. However, in Brave and the Bold number 60, they would be called the Teen Titans. Originally, the team consisted of Dick Grayson as Robin, Wally West as Kid Flash, and Aqualad. However, when the team became the Teen Titans, Donna Troy as Wonder Girl would join the mix, and even later on, Roy Harper as Speedy would also join the team. The Teen Titans would star in their own comic as of February 1966, and they would have moderate success in their 12-year initial run. The Teen Titans would be formed when Robin, Aqualad, and Kid Flash heard about an emergency that was going on in a village called Hatton Corners. The sidekicks would go on to defeat a villain called Mr. Twister, and they would take away his elemental powers. After this, all the sidekicks' mentors all agreed that it was a good idea for these three kids to be teaming up. The team would have their first official mission, and this would bring Wonder Girl into the mix. The team would have to go to Midville and defeat the Separated Man. Early adventures of the Teen Titans included a lot of quirky and zany villains, and this gave the series a really camp feel. These villains included Ding Dong Daddy and Mad Mod. This incarnation of the Teen Titans would have an HQ called the Titans Lair, which was an underground storage facility for Wayne Enterprises. The Titans Tower wouldn't actually come into the mix until 1980. The Titans would eventually meet Lauren Jupiter, who was trying to put together a program to help young heroes learn to work together. The Titans would go on to chase after criminals who were linked to the NG3 organization, and this is where other heroes would come into the mix, including Hawk and Dove. The first incarnation of the Teen Titans would end in 1978 and have a total of 53 issues. Now, I don't feel like this series being cancelled was entirely its fault. You see, it was a bi-monthly publication and it would stay this way for 43 issues, and then it would be put on hiatus. The series would then be revived in 1976, and it would have a slightly different feel. Like, not a bad feel, but it wasn't exactly what you expected from the Teen Titans, and this kind of put people off the series, so no one really bought it, and I think that's why it got cancelled. Now, I feel like this series being cancelled wasn't really a bad thing, because if it wasn't, we would have had no Raven, no Starfire, and no Cyborg, and by effect, no new Teen Titans, which is where we're going next. It's super effective! Now, it's so important to learn about the new Teen Titans because it's important in not just DC history, but comic book history as a whole. You see, it would become one of, if not the, best-selling comic book series in the world for its time. It's also this time period that the Teen Titans TV show is based off of. And as much as I'm going to cover it in as much detail as possible for this video, you should definitely go and check out this time period of comics and Teen Titans, because it is just great. So DC Comics Presents would include a preview of a new team of Teen Titans. This team would include the familiar faces of Robin, Kid Flash, and Wonder Girl, but there would also be some new heroes, such as Starfire, Cyborg, and Raven. Also, Beast Boy from the Doom Patrol would be reformatted into Changeling for this series. So Raven, a being from the land of Azarath, would appear on Earth and ask the Justice League for help in defeating her father, the demon Trigon. The Justice League would reject her plea for help, so she would send out a distress signal, and the previously mentioned heroes answered. After the team managed to defeat Trigon, they decided to stick together and became the new Teen Titans. There were some unique things early on with the Teen Titans, like in 1982, both the Uncanny X-Men and the Teen Titans were incredibly popular, and they had a few similarities, so DC and Marvel crossed the comics over for a special. Probably the most notable thing from this time period was the Judas Contract. Now, the Judas contract would start when Dick Grayson and Wally West would both retire from being heroes. It was also around this time that Terra joined the Teen Titans. Now, Terra had made several appearances in the series before now, but it was only really at this point that she joined the team. So Terra won the heart of Changeling, but the truth of the matter was that she was working for the Terminator, more commonly known as Deathstroke. So Terra told the Terminator all sorts of secrets about the team, including their secret identities. And Raven used her powers and managed to spot out that there was something not quite right about Terra, but she didn't know exactly what. Once the Terminator had all the information that he needed, he systematically took down each Titan except for Robin, which was kind of weird because Robin was the only Titan who didn't have a power. So all the Titans are taken to the Hive's Rocky Mountain HQ, and the Terminator is really pleased with his work, though the Hive criticizes him for not managing to get Robin. Dick would quickly realize that all the Titans have been captured, so he would return to the Titans Tower, and it's here that he would meet Adeline Kane. It's here that Adeline reveals the truth about Terra and gives Dick a very, very detailed description of Slade Wilson's history, right up to the point that he became the Terminator. Now, Adeline and the Terminator have a son, and this son's name is Joey, and he has the power to possess people. So he becomes Jericho, Dick becomes Nightwing, they both take the stand and head to Hive HQ. The two of them are very quickly captured, and the Terminator is surprised to see his own son on the side of the Titans. But then, Jericho possesses his own father and frees the other Titans. Terra doesn't realize that the Terminator has been possessed, so she becomes enraged, wants everyone in the room to die, and brings down the Hive building on herself using her powers, and this kills her. Now, this is a very light retelling of the Judas contract. There are a lot of things that I couldn't really go over, such as Deathstroke and Terra's sexual relationship. And I'm definitely going to talk about that in a future video because that had implications for the Teen Titans and the comic book history as a whole. The new Teen Titans would eventually just take a break and relaunch as the New Teen Titans Volume 2, and controversy would start straight away. There was a scene that featured both Dick Grayson and Starfire in a bed with one another, and both of them were technically underage to be taking part in sex, so obviously this was a big controversial thing. And also the series would start straight away with a Trigon story. As of issue number 50, the series would be renamed The New Titans, and it's around this time that the writers began to realize that maybe they should add new heroes to the mix, take old ones out, and really just experiment with this team, which is really what you're supposed to do with the Teen Titans. So this run in the Titans would feature a number of new heroes and heroines, and by the time it finished in issue 130, we would have a totally different team. I suppose the next major introduction would be the Teen Titans. Now, the Teen Titans were from a possible future where a man named Lord Chaos ruled the world with an iron fist. The team decided to travel back in time and prevent his birth, but guess who turned out to be his parents? Donna Troy and Terry Long. Now, Donna refused to abort this baby, but she did use her own powers to make sure that this baby wouldn't be born with any powers of its own. Then following 0 Hour, the Teen Titans would be erased from history. After 0 Hour, Nightwing would leave the Titans and Arsenal would take the lead, and he agreed to have the Titans work for the United States government. This incarnation of the team wouldn't really last that long, they just disbanded when Sarge Steel cut all their funding. Oh, and another weird thing was the Atom's Titans. You see, the Atom was regressed into the body of a 17-year-old in the events of 0 Hour, and he created his own team of Teen Titans. This incarnation of the Teen Titans would run from 1996 to 1998, and there was a poll held to decide which character should join the new Teen Titans, and Tim Drake, who was Robin at this time, won the poll, but the Batman writers had a lot of plans for him, so they banned him from being part of the Teen Titans at this point. As a result, this forced the appearance of Captain Marvel Jr., and this didn't help with sales whatsoever, so the series just had to be cancelled. This take on the Teen Titans is the only one that I'll say is just bad. It's just bad. There's nothing good about it. I'm sorry. It's bad. I'm sorry. It's super effective! Next, in 1999, a new series would start called The Titans. Now, The Titans would actually start thanks to the success of the Technis Imperative event, which would feature the return of Cyborg and every single Titan to have ever existed up to this point. The Titans would consist of Nightwing, Wally West, Troya, Starfire, Cyborg, Damage, Argent, and Changeling. This incarnation of the Titans would finish with the Titans Young Justice Graduation Day event. So in Graduation Day, the Titans and Young Justice are offered funding from a company called Optitron. And this wasn't from the good of their heart, they were doing this as a tax write-off. The teams would then be attacked by an android who hospitalizes a third of both teams, and then the android would wake up a Superman robot, and this Superman robot would kill Omen and Donna Troy. After this, the Titans and Young Justice would be disbanded, and Nightwing and Arsenal would form the Outsiders as a team that they could run without having any emotional attachment. Teen Titans Volume 3 would start in 2003 and would run right through till 2011. They would be the first main Teen Titans team to be located in the West Coast. This series would start when Beast Boy, Starfire, and Cyborg wanted to mentor the next generation, so they create a weekends-only Titans Tower. Impulse, Robin, Superboy, and Wonder Girl are all invited to join this new team, but Deathstroke would ambush them on Alcatraz Island, and he would show them statues of all the deceased Titans to really drill it into their minds the risk that they're taking. As a side note, I think this was totally useless because Impulse actually saw himself die in Young Justice, so he knows the risk that he's taking. So I don't understand the point of this scene, honestly. Anyway, it turns out that Deathstroke is being possessed by Jericho, who had been believed dead for quite a while at this point, and he would battle the Titans while Wonder Girl was getting her own magic lasso from Ares. Personally, I prefer Wonder Girl's lasso, because while Wonder Woman's lasso makes whoever it's wrapped around tells the truth, Wonder Girl's lasso is powered by anger and emits lightning. Impulse would then spend a relative year becoming Kid Flash, and Raven would appear through a portal, be possessed by Jericho, and would promptly disappear again. Deathstroke would swear revenge on all of the Titans, but this first weekend was really important because it resulted in each of the Titans being a lot more powerful and well adjusted in their lives. I guess the next major thing would be when Rose Wilson's foster parents would be killed by Wade Lafarge. Next, Alcatraz Island would open back up for business, and it will be the job of the Teen Titans to escort all the metahuman prisoners, and while the Titans were dealing with Mammoth and Gizmo, Raven would be on the run from Deathstroke and his daughter, who had become Ravager. Next, Robin would steal the Batmobile and would take the Titans out for a joyride, and the team would hear empathic cries from Raven, who was being forced to marry the new Brother Blood. You see, Brother Blood was a Trigon worshipper, and there was a prophecy saying that if he married Raven, then the end of the world would be brought about, so he reincarnated her into the body of a 16-year-old girl. The Titans would defeat Blood, and it turned out that Jericho was inside of Raven's body, and she would release him and put him on a floppy disk, and Beast Boy would convince Raven to rejoin the Teen Titans. Eventually, the team would be brought 1,000 years into the future, would team up with the Legion of Superheroes, and would battle the army of the Fatal Five. The army consisted of 100 different versions of the Fatal Five from parallel dimensions, and Superboy would defeat them using the Atomic Axe. The Atomic Axe would open up a rift in space and time, and this would cause the parallel dimension counterparts to be sent back to their respective worlds, but this also caused the Legion of Superheroes to be lost forever. The Teen Titans would try to travel back to their own time straight after this, but come on, it's the Teen Titans, that was never going to happen. The Titans were sidetracked to a possible future that was 10 years ahead of their own time, and they had all become the Titans of Tomorrow and had adopted the names of their older counterparts. This meant that Raven became Dark Raven, Robin became Batman, Superboy became Superman, and so on and so forth. Robin in particular was horrified by the Titans of Tomorrow. You see, the Titans of Tomorrow were dark, they were horrible, and they were violent. The future Batman would carry about a handgun, would catch a criminal, and would shoot them through the head. The Titans would team up with the Titans East of this era, and the Titans East had their virtue intact, and they would help the Teen Titans return to their own time using the cosmic treadmill. The Titans would then swear that the future would never come to pass, so they agreed that there had to be some major changes. I think the main thing that this story says is that the only Robin suited to become Batman is Dick Grayson, and I won't get into that too much in this video, but I do want you just to keep that in mind. In 2005, the Titans would have a long-awaited crossover with The Outsiders. So Robin wasn't the only one who was horrified by the Titans of Tomorrow. Superboy had recently found out that he was part Lex Luthor, part Superman clone, and he was horrified by his future self taking part in extreme violence. So it turned out that Lex Luthor programmed a trigger in Superboy's genetic makeup that turned him into a mindless, violent drone, and he would badly injure a number of Titans, including his girlfriend, Wonder Girl. It would take the full force of the Titans and the Outsiders to stop Superboy, and he would return to normal, but he would be mentally damaged, and this is something that we're going to explore a bit more in Superboy's own video. Now we're at Infinite Crisis, and the Titans were so important in this event. You see, Superman chose Robin to coordinate a rescue effort after Bloodhaven had been attacked by Chemo. During this event, the Titans would battle Superboy Prime, and Superboy Prime would kill a number of Titans and would rip off Risk's arm, and it's only thanks to the efforts of Raven that Risk didn't die. Then a huge loss would happen. Superboy Prime would kill Superboy. A memorial was put up in Metropolis honoring Superboy, but this event really did come at a huge cost. Now I want you to keep in mind that Superboy would be resurrected, and while we're not really getting into the details of that in this video, it is important to take note of for the future of the Teen Titans.
It's super effective!
Now we're at the all too familiar place of 1 year later. You see, during the 52 year, Titans would be taken out of the team, new ones would be added, and the team would be pretty much totally different by the time Cyborg woke up. The team would consist of Robin, Kid Devil, Ravager, and Wendy and Marvin. The team would ask Wonder Girl to come back as she had left to defeat the Brotherhood of Evil, and then there will be this weird thing involving the Doom Patrol, but all in all the Titans managed to defeat the Brotherhood of Evil. Wonder Girl would rejoin the Titans, and it's here the team would discover that Robin is trying to clone Superboy. Wonder Girl was really touched by this. I mean, Robin, Wonder Girl, and Superboy had all been friends since their days in Young Justice together. So they were really close, and in that moment, a spark was created, and Robin and Wonder Girl shared a kiss. Obviously this kiss was out of grief, but it would cause Wonder Girl to run away crying. Next, the team decided to track down Raven since she had been missing since the crisis. Their investigation led them right around the world to Australia. It's around this time the team would encounter Red Star and Bombshell, and also around this time, Miss Martian would rejoin the team. So 3 things would be revealed simultaneously. 1, Brother Blood wanted Raven yet again. 2, Bombshell was a traitor. And 3, Miss Martian would prove her worth to the Teen Titans. After the team defeated Brother Blood, Raven would reveal the whole point of her quest was to resurrect Jericho using Brother Blood's pool of blood and her magic. She would do exactly this, and Jericho would be resurrected free of all the evil that once controlled him. Deathstroke would quickly learn of his son's resurrection, and he wanted to make sure that both of his kids had a stable family environment growing up, and the Titans, in his point of view, provided that, So he did what he had to do to make sure that his kids would stay in the Titans. To do this, he would hire several metahumans and create his own evil Titans East, and the Teen Titans and Titans East would battle one another, and this battle would take both teams back to their original base in New York. In the end, the Titans defeated the Titans East, and Deathstroke managed to get away, and Ravager and Jericho were none the wiser to their father's intentions. Eventually, a new group of the Titans would be created, but it would actually consist of the original New Teen Titans. This group would be formed when Cyborg created a new group of Titans East, and they would be attacked and Power Boy would be killed. News of this attack would eventually reach the former New Teen Titans, and they would form the Titans to investigate. Turns out that the Sons of Trigon were behind the attacks, and the day would be saved thanks to the Titans and Raven's wit, but Raven would give each of the Titans an item that would kill her should she ever become her father's herald yet again. This series, of course, would be the Titans Volume 2, and it will be published from 2008 to 2011 alongside the Teen Titans. After the final crisis, the Teen Titans would have a major change. Tim Drake, the current Robin and longtime leader of the team, quit after his mentor, Batman, died. Wonder Girl would become the leader of the Teen Titans, and this somewhat mirrors what happened in Young Justice. And Wonder Girl would hold an enrollment day to try and find a new team. Wonder Girl's Titans would consist of Wonder Girl, Aqua Girl, Bombshell, Blue Beetle, Kid Eternity, Miss Martian, Static, and Ravager. Also, Kid Devil would still be about, but he didn't have any powers anymore. Wonder Girl's Teen Titans would be formed, and there was no time to waste. Jericho had gone insane, which forced the Teen Titans and the Titans to team up and go to New York to save the day. This issue would also feature a new vigilante who had been going about both New York and Gotham, and the teams would stop Jericho, but Vigilante would take it one step further and remove Jericho's eyes, which were the source of his power. I guess a fun thing was when the new Robin, Damian Wayne, would declare himself leader of the Teen Titans, and he would do a crappy job and botch more than one mission for the Teen Titans. Eventually, Tim Drake would rejoin the team as Red Robin, and Damian Wayne would quit, and it's also around this time that Solstice joins the team, and I mention her because she's part of the team in the New 52. The Teen Titans would finish with a 3-part miniseries which covered issues number 98, number 99, and 100. So Superboy Prime would return, and he would attempt to take down the Titans, but a huge group of Titans would attack him and eventually trap him in the Source Wall. Issue number 100 alone was awesome because you would see Kid Flash take down Inertia, Raven trap Headcase in Oblivion, and Damian Wayne would go about stabbing a bunch of Superboy clones with kryptonite. Issue number 100 would finish by showcasing pieces of artwork of the Titans through the years, and it was really touching to see it because it really brought home where the Titans had come from and where they got to. I mean, it's amazing to think of how much the Titans grew through the years. Obviously, the New 52 is a thing, and yes, I will be covering the Teen Titans from the New 52, just not in this video. The thing with the New 52's Teen Titans is that it kind of started out on a low note and then built itself up and then instantly fell down flat on its face. And while it struggled to recover, by the time it did recover, no one was paying attention. It has been hinted that they are going to carry on doing the Teen Titans just under a new title, so I hope it's a New 52 equivalent of the new Teen Titans.
It's super effective!
Okay guys, that is it for today. Obviously I didn't get to cover everything about the Teen Titans, but if you think I missed anything important, please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.